Is this the Teahouse podcast?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 35 of the Teahouse podcast. Thanks for joining us tonight. You're with your co-hosts, Lincoln and Blake.
Biani B, the killer.
Back at it again. We've got a very special episode, this one. We're celebrating the Pride Month with an absolute legend of the game, Blake's brother.
Little Chaos. He's here to tell us all the goss.
AKA Kade.
Yeah.
Very interesting episode. It's actually super interesting to dive into this kind of stuff and chat about it. We dive into like his kind of story personally and like where it began for him and coming out and like his journey with that, but just as well as talking about the community in general and stuff that I feel like you don't really get to talk about, do you? Unless you know someone, I guess.
Yeah. Common conversations that people maybe don't put themselves to have, but we're open. We're bridging the gap, baby. That's what the Teabag boys do.
We do it for the fans. We do it for everyone. But before we get into it, just a reminder that the Teahouse hats, ladies and gentlemen, has dropped. And look at this absolute beautiful design right here.
Crispy.
Absolutely crispy. Be sure to pick one of them up.
Make sure. And you're a bit of a social media
social star, as we would say. So for those...
Well, not us, Bubbles.
Yeah. For those who follow the Teahouse, everyone should maybe have heard of Bubbles. If you don't know who Bubbles is my cat who is trying to jump up on the table right now. And he's become a little bit of a viral star recently, actually. Posted a TikTok of him...
1.2 mil?
1.6 million views.
Did I tell you that I seen it on another video that I was watching and didn't even know it was you?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was watching like a compilation video and...
Was this the one that Rowan put in the Snapchat chat?
I watched it before he sent it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah,
and then he pointed it out, and I was like, "Oh, fuck, that's Lincoln." What the fuck?
One of our mates sending out group Snapchat was like, "Lincoln, is this you?" And it was just like a compilation of just TikToks and shit, and it was like me, Keely, and Bubbles, absolute classic. So yeah, Bubbles has made the big time.
Yeah, tough.
Famous in the world.
He's bringing the audience over.
He is. But without further ado, let's bring Kate in.
Welcome. Oh shit! I was like, what? No, you know what? I was like trying to think too loud. That was like my first.
That was like the loudest yell ever.
I was like, no, literally. It's because it was meant to be enthusiastic, but it came as a yell. All right, Fuck it. Chaos here today, mate. Officially a teabagger.
Yeah, mate, I'm here.
For you that don't know, Kate is actually my brother.
Yes. And
we've grown up for quite a few years together, and I regret most of them.
We shared that same thought.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It was mutual.
Yeah,
it was mutual.
100%.
No, fair. I reckon that's sort of a brotherly thing, isn't it? Like, what was your relationship with your brother like, Lincoln?
Mate, mine was very...
'Cause you're the younger one, aren't you?
I was the younger one, so I'm in Kate's exact position here. So my brother used to just like fuck me up all the time. Yeah. Like literally fucking... And he would like I'm looking back, I'm like, it's definitely verging on bullying. Physical assault. You know what I mean?
Child abuse, 100%.
It is literally child abuse, 100%.
Yeah.
I reckon that. Do you reckon that still happens now? Yeah, it would be. It's just a brotherly thing.
But were you like a little fucker, like a shit little brother at the same time?
See, Mum always used to say, she was always like, Lincoln, you fucking keep going until you get hurt. That's what she always used to say to me. And I was always like, I'm not even doing anything that bad. And then he'll fuck me up and I'll just start crying and shit. And then he'll get in trouble. That's kind of like how.
So basically, what I'm hearing is you were annoying him to the point of snapping, and then complaining about it.
Yeah, that's literally, I think, what used to happen.
That's the fun part.
At least I know.
Exactly.
At least I know. I'm gauging what younger brothers.
You know what it is? You know what it was, I reckon, actually, and back me up, Kate, if this is actually true, that I feel like when you're the younger sibling, the older brother doesn't like pay as much attention to you.
You have to fight for the attention.
Exactly 100%. Right. And you've got to like fucking, you want to play, but then you play and you get hurt and then you like fucking start crying.
Yeah,
shit.
We used to like play fight. You'd be like, let's play fight. And then you just take it too far.
Yeah.
I'd be in tears.
Yeah, because if the older brother's like, yeah, let's play fight. And you're like, yes. And then he'll fucking, you're like, oh, and you're like, too far.
Shut the fuck up. Don't tell mum. Oh, it's all right.
No, you used to like, hit me back.
Mate, that is literally, I have like one distinct memory of that. Like, I'm pretty sure my brother was trying to get into my room and I was behind the door holding it shut.
Yeah.
And he just pushed really hard and hit me in the face. And I was like, you know, when you're like almost crying, but you like haven't cried yet, you're like, shh, like give me back. That is like literally a memory I have. That is actually dead set what happens, doesn't it? That's fucking so good.
Yeah, because the older brother gets in trouble because the younger brother's the one crying.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if mum knows that you're a little shit. Right?
Do you reckon Erica, shout out to Erica, she'll be watching, a huge teabagger. That is your parent, mum. Who do you reckon she liked more in that situation? The young one? Did she whose back did she have? You know?
Me. Yeah,
Probably Cade's.
Yeah. Like, did you always get the
Yeah.
the towel off?
I remember me and Cade punched on once because he done something fucked. I think he hurt me. Like he tripped me over one time through like a door or something fucked. And I like
through a door,
like tripped
through a door,
yeah. And I hurt myself grazing me out like legs and shit. So I chased him out the front, and then like threw him on the ground and like started to like stomp on him.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, like I actually got bashed a lot.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But then like I turned around and mum with the kryptonite punch, the Superman, bang, just fucking knocks me in the nose. I was like, oh, what the fuck is this?
The Superman punch. Imagine someone watching that on the street.
Yeah, it was my kryptonite.
Brother bashing little brother to mum Superman punching son.
Yeah.
That fucking makes the front page of the news right there.
It was fair bum though. Fair bum. I suppose you see when the legs are involved, you gotta diffuse the situation.
Yeah, the legs are just too far.
The big one's getting it.
The legs are too far. Cade, Blake told me this story, and it's literally one of the we were actually talking about before you got here. It's like one of the funniest things I've ever fucking heard in my life. And then you said you were about 8 years old, so Blake was about 8, so you were pretty young. And Blake was in the shower, and he said you randomly ran in with a razor and like stabbed him in the balls and twisted it with a razor. That is the most fucked thing I've ever heard. When he told me that, I was like, "What did you do anything to like
grab my balls and bleed and scream for mum?"
No, I mean like, did you do anything to like why he did that? Like, why did he?
Oh no,
I was 3. What do you expect?
Blake, that's what they're for, aren't they? Oh, fucking.
Like I got cut off this the other day. Get in there. Not even like a stab, like a full bend as well. Like fuck that, man.
Oh my god, that's like
And he didn't
shit you
learn
dream
not to
about.
fuck with me, so
Yeah.
Borderline criminal. No,
That's where it all began. All of the sibling rivalry.
I could see in the future. I knew he was going to kick me one day.
Yeah.
that's all right. We're close now. It was only when we were little.
You get to that stage, I think everyone does. Like, you just hate each other, and then one day you're like, he's all right. We chill.
That's actually so true. I reckon like me and my brother started becoming like closer when I was like about 18. Hit 18. Like the younger sibling, maybe.
It's when you both get to like that teenagehood and you both mature and you respect each other's space.
Yeah, true. And you don't rely on like hanging out, like annoying each other, should I say.
Yeah.
Or bashing each other.
Yeah.
Like,
Maturity, eh?
Mate, we just talked about a story how you stabbed me in the nuts and you
when I was 3.
hey, but things don't change, man, all right?
We could have had a good childhood, you know, if you learnt from that one experience. I was going to say, we had another story similar to that, but it was your door.
I don't even think that was me. I think that was my cousin.
Was that Jasmine?
Yeah.
I always thought that was you. And no, you were just mad because it was your door.
Yeah, she hid in my room and he started stabbing the door where the door handle was to try and get her hands.
What? Jesus Christ.
Oh, he's still, if we would have been young, this would have been like, I don't actually honestly think he was trying to stab. I think it was more like a scare tactic.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Yeah.
Like the same how I used to chase around, what was her name, with the crickets. It was just to get a reaction out of people.
Crickets. Oh, I hate people that do that. I got mates that like grab spiders and shit and you like nearly want to go to war over it. No, I'm serious.
True. So let's start getting into a little bit of the pride talk, what we're here for, boys. Blake had a very good question. I really want to know about this. So the term gaydar is often thrown around, and is that actually true? You know what I mean? Like, can you?
Yeah.
When's it buzzing? Like,
Exactly.
who out of us two gives off the
Lincoln.
right?
What, is it because I got blonde hair now? What the fuck is it? No,
No.
There is actually like a lot of times where people have actually thought I was gay when I was younger. It doesn't
Same.
really happen to me anymore now, but
I think it was before my voice dropped. A little bit.
maybe.
I was copping.
And now. Like when you do your shoots and like you do modeling.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, is that how he dressed, or do they ask him to dress like that?
Yeah.
I was a bit worried.
They asked me to dress like that, I swear.
Yeah.
I swear. That's why I stopped posting my modeling photos, because people thought I actually dressed like that.
Yeah.
I have like a general question that I'm like curious about, because Pride Month Pride Month. Woo!
Celebration.
Up it, boys. But my question is it actually a big deal for a lot of gay people, or like even you personally, actually?
Yeah, 100%. No. I see it as more of a celebration. A lot of people see it as more, they're trying to celebrate their rights and like trying to fight for more rights.
Yeah.
But I just see it as everyone getting close together and living life, I guess.
Yep. What more rights you reckon?
More discriminatory.
Like laws and stuff like that?
Discrimination, that's the word.
Yep.
100%, yeah.
Yep.
Because there's still laws now, like, where religion is like the priority. So like religious schools and stuff like that can expel you or, you know, punish you, whatever it is.
Yep.
Because of your sexuality.
Yep.
And then they can hide behind the wall of religion and just like, well, that's what we believe in.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because I was talking to our editor earlier, Jake, and he was saying how how it's interesting that like, has there been much improvements in like how kids are when they are going to school? Because like obviously bullying is a major thing and stuff like that, especially because kids are stupid and don't know what they're doing. But like, is there more preventative things that will stop that now, do you reckon?
I think it's more in like the school setting, it would be more the teachers have a better open understanding about it.
Yes, yep.
So they can be like, you don't fully understand this, don't pick on them because of this and that. That's normal nowadays, you know. It's more widely accepted. I don't think it's any like laws or like procedures really. It's more the teachers or the principals themselves. There's not actually laws to protect you against that.
Mainly a culture shift, not necessarily a law sort of.
Yeah,
because
100%.
schools would have to be one of the most toxic environments growing up, like without a fucking doubt. Like
the worst.
That is like where you go through the most bullying, fucking just like shit ever. But I'm curious, like you're only 5 years younger than us, so yeah, it'd be good to get to someone like from like high school now, because it is so like in our culture, what you just said. Do you reckon it's way less stigmatized and like kids are far less likely to bully people? Because if they bully people now for being gay, they would get fucked up, I reckon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it would have the actual opposite effect than the kid that's, you know, coming out or whatever. Don't you reckon?
Yeah.
100%. I see that now, even just like on TikTok or like on social media, people, you've always got the certain people, or the chads or whatever you want to call them, the ones that are so fragile with their masculinity that they will bully someone for this. And I do see a way more heightened percentage of people that would be like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, you're the idiot.
100%. But also, like in a way, like to me, like when I see that sort of stuff, I personally think like, what a loser. Like he's obviously, or honestly, half the time I honestly think they're gay.
A lot of it is internalized homophobia. Like in my past, like I've had 2 bullies, the worst, who have actually messaged me like 2 a.m. Like, what's up? Or like they message you on like Grindr or something, and it's like, whoa, didn't know that about you. And it's like, yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry about this.
True.
And it's like, wow. Like you do see a perspective about it.
I was always curious.
It's sort of sad though in a way, because like
they got that much hate for themselves.
For them,
they got to bully someone else.
Literally push it out. Like, and like it's good that you sort of see that now, but also at the time you're probably like, fuck, can this cunt just die? Like, why is he picking on me? But at the time,
100%.
like they're obviously dealing for their own sort of demons and stuff.
I think it
like
would come through a family thing as well. Like if their family are hugely against gays and they're gay, that would be like your worst fear is coming out to your family. And then like, because like, I don't want to fucking, I don't even know, target generations, but the older generation is far, far, far worse, like culturalized to everything now, don't you reckon?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of more older people that aren't still, I don't know.
It's just, as you said, the way that they were raised, and a lot of them back then were fully pushed on like religion and all that kind of stuff, and they use it as a weapon.
Yeah. And also you got to remember there was such a thing as like electrotherapy treatment for gays.
Yeah.
Like
it was only till recently that conversion therapy was banned in some parts of Australia.
Yeah.
Really?
Only recently, yeah.
True.
Like, see how fuck's that when you think about that? Like,
and it wasn't that long ago, like that all this shit was going down really fucking bad,
You
eh?
gotta think about it though. Gay marriage was less than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. That's what we kind of wanted to talk about. Like, do you reckon that's like for you?
Has that pushed it? Like,
Yeah.
like pushed like the progression into the forefront, sort of, you reckon?
I don't know. I kind of saw it as, because that was so close. Like, you'd think a country would fight for basic human rights, and they're like, we'll put it to a vote. Like, the population can decide. And then you saw like this massive, like, a lot of people were like, yes, but then such a high number of people like, no. And it really showed you like, wow, Australia's not really that, open. And everyone puts us as like an open, diverse country, but we're really not.
Yeah, because like in social media, it's like very like, yes, like, all for it. But then like the people that don't actually speak up, there's a huge percentage that are actually still against it, isn't
and like
there?
a lot of people were happy to anonymously vote no, but like would not be the same kind of person that would be like open and visual about not liking it.
Yeah.
And you'll find that a lot of people, like especially like in the LGBT, we don't care if you don't like it, but don't weaponize it and attack us for it. I couldn't care less. Say if you didn't like it, you don't understand it. That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't target me or attack me for it.
Yeah.
I respect everyone. Respects that you have your own opinion, and that's all it is.
And to be honest, you could use it in the same, like what moral high ground do we have to stand on? Like, so technically you could turn around and be like, oh, it's like you have sex with girls. Like it's all perspective and stuff like that. So for them to even try and push their perspective onto anyone else is real culty. You reckon?
It's definitely odd. They always say like, you're pushing it on us. You're pushing it on us. We don't want to see that. But I grew up, everything I saw on TV or in the news was heterosexual.
I'm thinking about like, fucking hetero sex and stuff. And it's like, no, it's just like a couple holding hands and stuff like that. And it's the same thing with gay people and shit, I reckon too. Like, just because they're holding hands and stuff doesn't mean you need to be thinking about what they're doing behind the bedrooms and stuff like that.
That's your own curiosity that you should be targeting.
Yeah.
Not us, because you're holding hands or you're showing affection for someone you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not even
That's
like...
probably what it is, actually. Like you said, like it's trying to halt their own curiosity and stuff like that.
But you know how people are like, oh, I don't want to see it and stuff? It's like, but I don't want to see a guy and a girl just hooking up in the middle of the street either.
Nah,
you know what I mean? Like, but I feel like they don't say that though. You know what I mean? Like it's always aimed at like...
Whenever you bring it up, they have nothing ever to say about that.
Yeah.
Whenever like, because I defend myself. I never let anyone run over me, especially online. They're like, oh, like I've got nothing against it, but like don't push it in our throats. And it's like, and you say it back to them. You're like, well, everything heterosexual, you push it down our throats. You're pushing your religion because it's only straight allowed, and then they have nothing to say to it.
Yeah.
It's like our whole life.
It's because it's what they're saying is literally hypocritical.
Yeah, they're like, well, if all our kids see it at such a young age, then they might come gay. It's like, well, I saw nothing but heterosexual stuff. What made me gay?
Yeah.
They're so, I think a lot of them don't educate themselves on it. They go, oh, the Bible or this reason. They don't actually educate themselves further so they can have a good debate.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. And it's not like it's like a new thing. Like they literally think Alexander the Great was gay too. That's a fun fact for you.
Yeah, there's
Fun fact.
I'm gonna really probably botch this, but I'm pretty sure Da Vinci.
Yeah.
I think it was him that they think might be gay as well.
Well, wasn't it in Romans? I could also be wrong. But wasn't it like gay sex like in the Roman times and like all that stuff?
Normal. I'm pretty
that was
sure.
normal.
Yeah, that was like they used to just fucking have sex with anyone. I'm pretty sure it was
just
just like part of their culture.
Whatever you wanted.
Yeah,
I think because, but then like you got it. Like now I'm thinking biologically right now.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is there a G spot in our ass?
I know, they were like, God made you for you. It's like, why do you put that there then?
Yeah, no,
It's
true.
kinda- it's kinda
That's true.
useless.
It's true. Like I'm not going to test it, but why is it there? Why is it there?
A lot of questions need to be answered.
100%.
So, like, what is the dating scene / culture in Bendigo? Let's say Bendigo /
I was
just
gonna say in general, it's fucking horrible.
is it? Is it actually horrible?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Pig City.
Well, especially here, yeah. It's gay culture, even just relationship. Like you're like, oh, this is my best friend. You have like a group of gay friends. Everyone's dating each other. Everyone's dating each other's exes. That's all it is. And everyone talks.
And everyone's jealous.
Everyone's jealous. That's my ex. I was like, well, it's also this person's ex, this person's ex. Everyone.
Really?
It's
Is that why you
it's
don't
like
really?
recycling up here? I literally said it the other night to someone. I'm like, a guy.
Really?
And I was like, it is full recycle.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not getting involved in that scene.
So it's just like really dramery. Like,
100%. And because like stereotypically the bitchiest gays and the ones that like drama, like bottoms or whatever. And like say 100%, 20% is tops and the rest are like bottoms to verses. And it's all bitchy. And so it's always like 4 bottoms or like 1 top because there's only 1 top here. It's horrid. It's absolutely.
Yeah. So that person's dated all fucking
dated
4.
all of them, and then they're all just it's horrid, absolute horrid.
And then everyone's jealous. Fucking Yeah.
So is that why you see like a lot of gay people have a lot of big like girlfriends?
Yeah.
Instead of I don't really see like many gay group friends, if that makes sense. Like
No,
there is 100%,
There
but like
is,
I
but
do a
it's-
lot more see gay guys with girlfriends instead. Would you say like that plays a part of it? It's just
I
easier?
think down here because there's less gay people or you know whatever. But in Melbourne, you do see a bit. Everyone's like there's more like gay male groups or whatnot. But I think we get along more with females because I find it's rare because a lot of gay guys don't have straight friend groups. Like it's rare, and I think that's because of like the stigma around it. And like there's always the straight guys like, I don't care you're gay, just don't hit on me.
Yeah.
And it just turns. It's like all you guys are comfortable with sexuality. You don't care that there's a gay dude in the vicinity, but the rest are so fragile with their masculinity. They're just like awkward and they're so defensive, and it's just a horrible. Like one of my close friends group, I hang out with them a lot, even though I don't live up here, and it's just constantly awkward.
Yep.
And
Really?
they're always just like on your back about it, and it's just like, okay, well, like I went camping once, and obviously you get changed. There's nowhere to change, and they like you look, and they're like awkward.
Why are they looking
And
at you though? You're the one getting changed.
No, like they get changed, and
Oh,
then he's
sorry.
like, "Oh, don't look at me." And I was like, "You'll find if a straight guy gets changed, or in that group setting, the second that someone's getting changed like a male, all the gays will not look in that direction."
Yeah.
And then-
because they don't want to be accused
Exactly,
or like
100%. And then he literally turned around and goes, "Oh, he wasn't kidding." Like they literally all looked around, like me and my partner at the time, like looked the complete opposite direction. He's like, "Oh, they're not lying." I was like, "Yeah, because what if I was looking in your direction?" Then you're like, "Oh, why are you looking at me?" You don't get that with girls. Obviously, some girls are like, they don't want to get naked in front of you, and that's completely fine.
Yeah.
But a lot of them do because there's no like sexual energy kind of thing. Like I'm not looking at you to be like, oh, like nice tits. Like I want that.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
So there's like more comfortability.
I was speaking to the boys before. Have you seen the TV show Sex Education?
No, I didn't watch it.
So I was talking to the boys that like it has like a lot of themes like around gay, like just the gay community. Like it's hugely themed about it.
Yep.
And like the main character, his best friend, like there's just two of them, and his best friend's gay. And it's like awesome to see. Like one of my favorite shows.
Is that the
Like,
African American one?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I've
fucking
seen
funny
some
as.
clips of it. Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
That is a fucking good movie. Yes, I have seen that.
TV
Amazing.
show. TV show.
Oh wait, no, is it to a movie?
TV. It's the one where
He's
it kicked on a big stick.
piano player and shit.
Don't-
I didn't watch it much.
No,
I
don't.
only saw
No,
certain
bro, I'm
clips.
thinking a different one. Don't.
No, but like I was saying to the boys, like it's so good like to have a show out like that where like it kind of breaks that stigma because like it's literally what you were just talking about. You know what I mean? Like a straight friend like just being a bit weird about it, but like it shows how comfortable they are, and like I'd be like it's exactly how it should be. I think
Everyone, I understand like the same way like a girl wouldn't get undressed in front of a guy or if there's a straight guy in the room. I understand like that kind of not worry, but like a girl would
privacy.
Privacy. Yeah, but you got to think a lot of these guys that are thinking like this. I'm not going to generalize everyone, but a lot of them do. Like they think it's more of a I'm there to look.
Yeah.
But really, you can get changed. I don't care. It's not every gay guy wants you kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
get you stick out your ass. Like, no, I got standards kind of thing.
Yeah. You're ugly. Yeah.
Pretty much. And it's always the ugly ones too. They're always like, don't hit on me. I'm like, you're literally the last person. Like, I wouldn't touch you. Like, go away from me.
Some fucking fat cunt with like hair and
Yeah, he's like, don't stare at me. It's like, I'm not.
No, just joking.
so. Like we talked about the relationship scene, but how is like would you say casually dating scene? You know, like
Grinder.
yeah, I was about to say you mentioned before Grindr.
Yeah.
What other apps are there? So there's Grindr. That's the main one I know about.
I got like Tinder and like all that stuff, but
You're just so interested in men.
Grindr isn't so for dating,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Some people use it for dating. 99.9% don't.
Yeah.
And it's horrid. Absolute horrid. Do not ever download that app.
Oh, really? It's bad.
Even like older gays, and even now that I see it, they're always like, fresh 18s, don't download it. It will ruin your, like, what's the word? Confidence?
Yeah.
Like confidence and all that stuff.
In what way?
It's always, also, that's another topic, it's pretty serious. So, like, older gays, like fetish, and target the younger ones.
Yes.
And it's always the grossest shit. Like, not even just fetish wise, it's just a 40-year-old should not be messaging an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
100%.
And they target it. I'm not sure why. Like, I guess even though straight men like younger girls and whatnot, opposites.
Bear and cub.
Yeah, it's odd. It's definitely odd, and I wouldn't suggest to download it because it's horrid.
Yeah, true.
It's absolutely, and like, there's no haze, how are you? It's just dick pic.
Oh, really?
Bro.
Oh, dick pics,
Down to
true.
fuck.
How are the dick pics like being in that scene? Because like, I don't really know personally, but like girls I just hear about all the time. They're like fucking get dick pics all the time. So like the guy situation, is that like just the same, if not worse?
It's
Yeah.
absolute worse. Like, you think about it.
They'd be way more confident to do it to another guy.
They just send it straight up, and it's like, you should not be sending that. One, it's gross and small.
Yeah.
Yeah, that no one asked for it.
Just on the flop, mate. Just like not even
Like,
just,
it's that prevalent. I'm not even sure that's the right word. It happens that often that there's like in your like your bio settings, there's like accepts not safe for work pics.
Yeah.
You can do like not at first, no, yes. Like, what app has, like, Tinder doesn't have that?
Yeah.
true. That's actually
Accepts nudes or not.
And
they
why
still
does
say
it, and
that.
it has the HIV
Yeah, because that's
positive setting as well.
you can write like if you're HIV positive or undetectable, that kind of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice that they have those options, I guess. Like,
But if you put it as that, no one will message you, so they lie.
oh,
So when I lived up here with you, there was this dude on there that had it. I saw it one day and it was set as positive,
And then changed it.
and then I come up here like a month later, and he had set it to negative, and I was like, you can't be lying about that. You cannot give someone an incurable disease
yeah, that's pretty fast.
just because no one will message you because they're worried about catching said disease.
Yeah, literally.
Like even you.
People
Even
can
if,
sue
even if
you.
you wear exactly, it's
that.
a crime.
Yeah.
If you infect someone or have sex with someone, you have an incurable disease that you can transmit and you don't tell them,
You go to jail.
you go to jail for it.
Yeah, that's
I reckon you should too.
100%.
yeah.
Like, it's give someone AIDS and you know you had it.
Yeah, that's
That's like poisoning someone.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like they deserve acid in the face or something.
yeah, literally.
When do you reckon? Like, I actually reckon I know. But like, when did you know that you were gay? Do you reckon?
Yeah. What? Grade 5, even grade 4. That's when I started to notice my attraction to men, and then like at that time, it was kind of like anything. Like, going through puberty, a girl or a guy, but could excite you or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was, you'd always focus more on the guy, or like you'd say watch porn over. You'd find yourself watching the guy.
Yeah.
And so at that time, I was thinking like, oh my god, is there something wrong with me? Oh my god, I'm gay. And I would always like fight it a little bit. I think everyone does that a bit. Like, get a bit of internalized homophobia. And then about grade 6 into 7, I kind of got into it more. Was like talking to guys a little bit. This was like the download guys at like Garuna or something like that.
Yeah.
Like stupid shit. And then I like got into like this shitty little relationship with like this dude that was not out properly, and I told some people when it just went everywhere. As it does.
As it does,
And then
yeah.
this person's like, I don't fucking know you, like, ill, you fag, and all this shit. And I was like, okay.
True.
And then ever since then, it was just kind of like, yeah, I like this. And then slowly progressed into it a bit more.
Yeah. Right. But you actually did lose your virginity to a girl, though, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So
Alright.
you weren't sure. Just dipped the toe in, just in
It
case.
was kind of like that. It was actually older as well. It was the Bluebell house. So how old was I then? A bit older. I was in my teens.
16, 15. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit, yeah, around there. And it was kind of just like, this girl was over, like we were friends. And it just kind of like happened. Like, she knew that I was gay. And it kind of just progressed.
Oh, she knew.
Yeah, and it out of nowhere just progressed, and it happened. And like, it happened, And I was just like, after it, I was just like, yeah, that's not for me. I was actually surprised that I could.
You've turned me gay.
It was pretty much.
And from this day, it was her fault.
no, honestly, like I full messaged her, and I was like, yeah, like it's not you, but I'm gay.
Yeah. No, you got
It's not you.
And then she
but I'm
moved
gay.
away, so I'm not sure if that was linked.
True. So, how did you actually come out? / when? Like, who was like the first kind of people you told?
This is actually a funny story. So I told my best friend at the time, which is Caitlin, and then that little sluzzer went around and told people.
Oh, you went around and told people. Oh no, that's such a big secret. Though.
I was alright at the time, and kind of everyone like at that point knew. I was like that little stereotypical gay. Like everyone kind of knew, kind of thing. And
When
then
was this? Sorry, what like was this in high school?
Yeah, this was grade 7 to 8, 8 actually.
Yep.
And I'd gotten in a little relationship, as you do, and towards the end of the year, that went sour, and the person had posted a picture of me and him like kissing on Facebook, like tagged the school, tagged all my friends. It was like 400 people tagged in it.
What?
And like this massive paragraph about how I'm a cunt, I'm a liar, because I didn't want to come out like fully. And then sent it to mum, and it was horrid. But
What the fuck? How did you to every cunt and did that? What a scumbag.
Well, he's very ugly at the moment, so I won.
Oh my God, that is actually like evil.
Yeah, but I didn't know at the time, but mum already knew I was gay because our phones were linked, and so were our search histories. So.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
Yeah, she told me about that not long ago.
Really?
And I was like, don't ever bring that up. And in front of the whole family too. I was like, thanks.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was
that's
fun.
nice of her that like...
Well, I didn't bring up anything because also our camera rolls were linked and I saw some pretty horrible things as well. So.
But you know what's funny? He's seen some horrible things and never put the dots together. He's seen all this shit from mum. Like, what a dumb bitch. Oh, we're linked, idiot.
Yeah.
I didn't think our search history was to be linked.
Yeah, what the... That's so weird that it was all linked though. Holy shit.
Yeah, because she signed into my Apple ID. So it acted as a separate like iPhone.
Yeah, you can even get like calls together and shit.
Yeah, that's so what it was, and that's how I knew. And then she's like, I keep getting your phone calls, and then she signed out of mine.
Yeah,
and then years later, she tells me she saw everything.
Holy shit! So is that how like it officially like your mum like
to my mother and like my friends in school? Yes.
Yep.
Then one of my biggest worries was my brother and my dad.
Yes.
And so my mum and dad don't live together well, at that time anyway. And like a couple of years had gone by, and then I think mum told you.
Yeah.
And then Blake come in one night. I was in my room. He like sat down, got all emotional with me, and was talking about how mum had told him. And at first, you're like, "Have you got anything to tell me?" And I was like, "No, like get the fuck out my room." And then he's like, "Mum told me something about you," and I knew instantly. I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Nothing." And then he was talking to me about how he apologized because like everyone make gay jokes and all that stuff. Like even I make gay jokes.
I still make them.
Exactly. Like as long as that's not
derogatory.
Yeah,
not derogatory.
Just friendly, like
friendly.
Not
and
like,
everyone loves that.
Mm.
And he apologized. Like all those were like jokes. And I liked it. And it's actually something I think about a lot because it's good to know. Like I knew my family like weren't bad people and didn't hate on gays or anything, but it's still like that
scary,
massive stress, like having to come out.
At the same time, you know that they don't know anyone firsthand or like...
Exactly.
So like you've never seen me hang around with like...
the gay people or anything.
Yeah. But you're not even the only gay person in my family. I've got an auntie that's gay.
Yeah. But I didn't know all that at that time. And it was just like very stressful. Like even he could literally be like, "I know you're gay." And then me having to say like, "Yeah, I'm gay." Like he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like it just something like holds you back from saying it.
Yeah.
It's like a massive stress. And then so that was all fine. And then if I ever had problems with discrimination, that like Blake always had my back, and I knew that I could always rely on him. Yeah. Like, you know, a powerhouse symbol, I guess, because I wasn't the best at that time. I didn't really stand up for myself at that time. And then my coming out to my father, same thing. Didn't want to do it. Came out to my stepmother first, and then mum pretty much would come in like, "You need to tell your dad," and I was like, "No, like I really don't want to tell my dad."
That'd be so scary though.
I got this message of dad one day like, "Hey, we were like, I want to talk to you like in person." I was like, "Fuck off."
What did your mum kind of like tell him?
She's like, "Your son needs to tell you something."
Oh, yeah.
And I know like my dad's side of the family had like told him, like, you know, we think Kate's gay, and he'd always like put it off. And me knowing that, I was like, oh, like he hates it. Like, why would they tell him like I'm gay? And he'd be like, no. And so I was a bit worried about it. And then so he come up and the Seymour house, and then he sat down with me and was like, "So what you got to tell me?" All that kind of stuff. And then I finally got it out after a little bit, and he cried a bit and was like, "I don't want you to like." He was like, "I'm sorry that you felt worried or you were scared." And he explained it like he didn't really grow up around that kind of crowd, I guess, as no one really their generation did anyway. He's like, I think it was more just like, as you said, not knowing, not being around, not understanding.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't. He's like, what did he say? He said something really sweet and like made me cry. He's like something along the lines of like, I don't understand it, but like, I love you. I've always loved you. There's nothing you can do that will make me not love you. And I will try my hardest to understand and learn and educate myself about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy fuck. Like I did not expect anything like that emotional to come out of my father.
Yep.
And then, like those, like yours and his experiences.
You're saying how hard this is. This would have been like just as hard for him too, because men don't even like talking about that sort of shit.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
even to this day, like there's just things like me and my dad don't talk about, and a lot of it is like no one wants to hear about like gay sex and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's just him. Like everyone doesn't want to hear about that.
Yeah.
And so every now and then, like even recently, he's like tried to like open a conversation about it, or we can say, you know, this or that.
Yeah.
Or I've been with this person, whatever. And you can see he struggles a little bit, but like it does mean a lot that he actually is trying.
Yeah.
And even now, like my dad's pretty all right with it. Like I brought my partner home.
Yeah.
You know, back then anyway.
Yeah.
And it was that, and it was really, he's like, well, he's a good kid, all that kind of stuff, and he accepted my partner at the time, and so that was nice. I really liked that.
Nice. I've actually met your dad. He's a legend.
Well,
Met him with
it's
Blake,
the best you can ask for, actually. So no complaints from me.
That's all you can ask, literally.
So how was like so that was like your family and stuff. How did your like friends and stuff go?
All good, pretty
Yeah,
much.
everyone was pretty chill with it.
Everyone's chill, and then I guess because a lot of my friends knew when I was a bit younger, so there was always like that petty drama. We hate them for a month, and everyone talks.
Yeah.
They were all like, I guess that's all it was. Like everyone, even back then, kids were horrible. They'd be like, you know, you faggot, whatever. They just say anything to hurt you. Even now, like no one would do that.
Yeah.
Well, none of my friends or the friends I had back then wouldn't, to my knowledge.
Yep.
And even if they did, it'd be a funny joke, which
Yeah.
I love. I love gay jokes, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah,
As long as
100%.
it's not like racism and stuff like that, but
Yep.
No, 100%. Like we sort of have touched on it a bit, but I was like going to say, like, why do you think it's so hard for like, we literally have touched on it, but like, why do you think it's so hard for so many queers maybe to come out, boy and girl?
it's a fear of, like, you hear
Not
all
acceptance?
the time, not acceptance, or get bashed, even disowned.
Yeah, well, that's sort of the worst case scenario.
Like you see all the time in the news, like a lot of them are in like Middle Eastern countries and countries that aren't as progressed as us.
Yeah.
Like that kid got decapitated when he came out to his family the other week.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus, I did not see that.
Like stoned to death. Even here, obviously it's not as hectic here because they're very religious over there, and it's like that's what you got to do.
Definitely.
Here you see it all the time in the older generation with their younger kids, like get disowned, child abuse, like bash them.
Yep.
And I think it's that fear. It's not acceptable. The last thing you don't want is your family to turn their back on you.
Yeah.
You're like, I love you, this is who I am. They're like, well, no.
Yeah, and you actually hear about that all the time. I've heard of stories of like people that have come out and then their family's like, all right, see you later. Like,
Yeah, like move out. Fucking get a job, get out of my house kind of thing.
Yeah,
Literally.
literally.
And a lot of them are like, you don't even have time, like get the fuck out now.
Yeah.
And like even with me, like I knew I had an accepting family and still it was that hard. So for people that know their households aren't as
That'd
progressed,
be fucking hard as fuck.
it'd be horrible.
It'd be, and imagine if that little douche outed that person that outed you as well. Fucking scumbag.
Exactly.
Wait, but I just want to like expand on that a little bit. Like we talked about the radar thing. So with like that coming out, do you see people that you think you're like, this person hasn't come out yet, but they definitely are gay, whatever, bi, blah, blah, blah. Do you see that a lot and you're like, they definitely are, they just haven't come out yet?
Mm-hmm. All the time.
Yeah.
And you kind of see why. So if you know them a bit, like if it's a random stranger, there's, you're like, oh, I think he is.
Yeah, yeah.
But when it's someone you know, and then you know that there's more information coming in. It's not just how they look, how they act, or the stereotypes. You understand them a bit more, and then you can also understand why they haven't come out. And a lot of them I find is with like the straight guys and all their friends, and there's always that one that you think is gay, you understand why he's not coming out. It's because, like, say, like how you said, like you apologize for making all those gay jokes, and probably they don't see them as jokes. They probably see them as, oh my God, they hate gays. I can't come out, I'm going to lose all my friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll find that, I'm not saying everyone, but even a lot. Like I knew if one of your friends come out, all the boys wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's not like they'd be like, oh, fuck off, get out of our friend group.
Yeah.
I think it's just that initial fear, as the same as like,
Yeah, you definitely
you don't want to lose your family, and you also don't want your friends to turn your back on you at the same time.
Yep.
So
What's like something like real bad that you've seen like discriminated to like towards gays, you reckon? Like something like you've seen on the street or even personally happened to yourself or something like that?
I've been discriminated against, and even but I think the worst that I've seen, and recently, so there's this couple gay clubs that I go to in Melbourne, and it's like everyone knows that I'm going to say the wrong street here, not Smith Street, one of them,
Yeah.
and that's where the gay bars are and the gay nightclubs. and I don't know the person personally, but got full mold at the front by all these guys, like straight guys. Like you're walking on, you know, the gay road or whatever, and you bash someone at the front of their thing for being gay, like full plastic surgery, like broken skull, everything.
Holy fuck. See, that's sad too. Like
it's horrible, and like
especially if it's something you physically cannot change about yourself. Like look at all the things that you've said, like how much like the self-hate, the not coming out, all these things that no one would put on themselves. No one would put that pressure. No one would put that stress. No one would cut their own ankles off like that, unless it's fucking not your choice.
How low do you be to have to like fucking fight someone for that though?
And it's always, and you'll find it's always the guys that are like so uncomfortable that their masculinity hurts because you're expressing yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you like it? Because I don't agree with it. Like that makes me less of a man.
Yeah.
And then they attack you to prove they're a man. And it's like, no, you're just a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, and I think like, oh, like I've been discriminated against, you know, I almost got bashed and then I had drinks tipped on me and I got shoved around at work once. And then you hear stories like that. And it's like, that's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
People out there almost dying.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And then I have like the luck of being around people that can help me or deter a situation like that.
Yeah.
Because I know I stand up for myself and that's probably not always the best idea because then it escalates more.
Yeah. And it could lead to further troubles. Is it like, how is it to deal, like how do you deal with them sort of situations? Like, and like not sort of let them keep you down, if you know what I mean? Like sort of just shrug it off.
I do put a lot on my shoulder and just throw that shit away because I don't really like to take things personally. Like you're a sad person. You're hurting if you have to bully someone else for something like this.
That's a good...
Like you're already hurting inside. I don't care.
So that's sort of how you do it. You sort of like can see
like
it
I'm
from
better than you.
Yeah. That's the way
perspective.
You've got to look at it that way because it's like, it's the same with fucking, you know, people just dissing what you're doing for like a job or whatever. Like you're a fucking loser. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like
you're the one that has a
making
problem.
money. Like,
yeah.
What's the difference?
Like, you're the one with the problem, mate. Like it's your issue, not
100%.
Yeah.
What are gay clubs like?
Better.
I've actually never been to one, but I've heard they're fucking sick.
I've heard they're hectic.
They're fucking amazing. Like,
and
straight clubs are just like, oh, they're fun. And a lot of straight guys are scared to go to a gay club because like, oh, they're going to hit on me. No.
Yeah,
No,
I'd
not
love to
at
go to
all.
one. I reckon it'd be fucking fun.
Like,
I'd
obviously,
love to
you
do
get that one moron every now and then. It's like, oh, they'll like touch your abs or whatever. No, they don't walk around grabbing cock and grabbing ass. No.
yeah.
Not for me anyway.
You're ugly. Not joking. What's like? Because you were even telling me though, there's like lots of licensed sex places though in Melbourne too. Though, isn't there?
Yeah, Wet and Wellington.
Like you don't really hear about that for like straight clubs there. Like
No, it's odd. Wet and Wellington's not really the club scene. Like it's got a full like fucking indoor pool, saunas, spas, all that kind of shit.
Oh, shit.
And then you go upstairs and it gets scary. It's like a gym locker room, but there's beds. Instead of showers, there's beds.
Wait, so for the people listening at home, can you explain what a sex premise is for just sakes?
a licensed sex premises.
Licensed sex premise, yeah, sorry.
A
A good example.
good example.
Well, that place you were just talking about.
Is it essentially
Well,
like...
I don't go to many. I've been to one once and I ran out of there. I walked around. I was like, this is not for me.
No, but like I'm confused. Is it like a brothel or is it like...
No,
It's
they don't pay
it's not
for it, though.
workers.
Yeah.
Like, you pay to get in. It's like a security thing. It's like full what you think like in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like a strip club. You pay your money. One guard lets you in the door and you get naked. You walk around.
Wait, so this is
It's
literally
essentially a swingers club.
an orgy. Like you pay to have an orgy.
I mean, there's
place pretty much. That is fucking insane.
I mean, you pay for like you go in there all day. And there's just constant amount of guys coming out, but a lot of them are like really old and like
Gross.
nasty. You're like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
definitely catching something. I didn't know it because I went on a date with a guy once, and we went for shisha. And he's like, oh, like, have you been to like a sauna? I was like, I've actually like never been to a sauna. Didn't fucking click in my head. There's that Wet on Wellington. And then so we're driving and then I go onto Wellington Street. And because I've got a lot of gay friends, I know about it. And a lot of them are like, you know, sex positive. They go to like places like that. We turn on Wellington Street. I was like,
Oh, shit.
got my phone. I was messaging my best friend, Nick. I was like, fucking wet, but not be on Wellington Street. He goes, it is. I'm like, does it have a sauna there? And he's like, yep. I was like, fuck.
Oh no.
So I get in there. So I'm like trying to like get out of this situation, but like I couldn't because he drove me there and I left my car at Shisha. So Shisha, I'm not sure I'm saying it right. And then so we go in, like I pay to get in. It was like $30.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there's like a pool in here. Like, it's pretty good. And then there's like naked old man walking around. I'm like, fuck. I was like, get me out of here. So then they give you like your own key and that, and you lock all your stuff and like all your phones and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, like have a shower. So I had a shower first and I turn around because I'm naked.
Yeah.
Like had my
Some dude there.
yeah, like my back was to them. There was like 4 old guys like staring at me in the shower.
What?
I was like, oh my God. And I spoke to him. I was like, this isn't like my thing. He's like, no, like hold my hand. They won't touch like, you know. And he's like giving me a tour for some reason. I was like, can I just like go in the sauna and like leave? Go in the sauna, there's people fucking. I'm like, it's like
In the sauna, that'd be so hot.
yeah, it's horrid.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be fucking a
it's
sweat
like
sesh.
it's like a dark sauna too, like all misty. And then like there's like, you know, like the Rolls Royce, how they got like the fairy lights on the roof. It's
Yeah.
like that. And then all you hear is like,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm just like, this is like really awkward. And then like an old, they're not all old, but like my experiences with the oldies that night sat right next to me. Like there's a lot of space in there. And I was just like, I'm gonna have a shower now. Got up and left. And then you walk out and he's like, oh, I'll show you upstairs. And there's like cameras, like security cameras in there. So like they see everything.
Yeah.
Perfect job if you're a creep, run one of them.
Yeah.
Go upstairs and I was like, oh, like what is it? It's like full dark hallways and like people walking around and like all that shit. And I was like, I'm going to get touched here. I was like, I'm actually terrified. And I didn't know how to get out of the situation. I was so scared. And then he's like, oh, like show me all this bed. Like it's actually clean. Like there's cleaners.
Yeah.
Like there's lube.
What about
This place sounds
condoms,
insane.
what about the pool though? Like, is there just swimmers in there, or is there just?
There's barely anyone in there. I think people go there for one reason and it's not to swim.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There'd be swimmers in there though.
Yeah. Probably. It'd be nasty. That filter better be running an extra.
Yeah.
And then I go up and there's this like a lot of the walls like there's privacy, like no one can like look in, except there's one area where it's meant to be public.
Yeah.
And there's a swing, and I walk around, it's like gel bars, and there's this man getting fucked in a swing, and I was like, nah, like I'm actually out of here. He's like
You said you're out of here 3 different times.
yeah, so I
Like-
couldn't get out because he drove me. And then so I was like, oh, like, yeah. And he's like, oh, we can go in here. And it was like one of the fucking rooms with the bed in it.
Oh.
Like, it's like not even a bed. It's like the floor. But like, you know, like at like the big 4 parks, the big jumping thing, but like one of them, but like really tiny on the floor.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe not. Like, maybe. And he's like, oh, we can like chill in here for a little bit. And I was like, I really don't want to do that. And he's like, come on. And I was like, no. And I like kind of like let go of him and like walked out. And I was like, fuck this bitch, I'm calling an Uber.
Yeah.
So
I don't give a fuck anymore.
I like went downstairs and then he had my key to get into my fucking thing. So I had to go back up there and that man was busy. So I had to wait. And then I got my key back finally, got my shit. My phone was about to die, called an Uber. And then like Auntie Sarah rang me and was like, hey, like, what are you doing? And I was like almost crying. I'm like, just come back to my car. Like, I went out clubbing. And she's like, it's like a Wednesday. I was like, yeah.
Oh my God. That sounds like a fucking experience. That sounds like an actual experience.
A lot of people have fun there, so just not me.
I bet it sounds like everyone else but you had fun there.
To be fair, it actually sounds like a cool place. Like,
No, it'd be. I was like, I'd actually go there with friends, not to like screw around.
Yeah.
Like actually, like have a sauna, a swim, like a spa, and all that shit.
Yeah. And maybe watch one of your mates do it. Like,
And-
pisser.
exactly, and be like, oh, look at this one, and then leave, leave him.
see you, man.
Like I'm not getting left alone. And then it was fun. So that kind of scene, I guess it's fun, but I wasn't really into it that night because I thought I was on a date, and then I was at some
Interesting
sex
date.
club.
Interesting date location choice.
Definitely.
So funny.
Love that. Do you have any other like funny stories like in that kind of scene, I guess? In that world that you can tell the Teahouse special viewers?
I'm gonna get this. Mum, stop watching this now. So
Do I need to leave too?
no, so well in that scene, and we spoke about it a bit before about older people fetishizing and like going after the young ones, and the young ones thinking like, oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I have
Because they got money.
It sounds very predatorial.
It is, and
money.
it's actually a big topic they talk about now.
I
Like
reckon
the
it-
younger gays, like that's actually like not right.
Yeah, true.
Like that is not right.
Yeah.
True.
So I have a story, and it's also kind of like the same one.
Yeah.
It should not have happened at all.
Yeah.
But only my close friends know, so now everyone guess. So this one time, at the very start of my experimenting, I was messaging a guy, and I know you know because I said it before, and there was an incident with a van, a white van, at a park at pitch black at midnight.
Yeah.
And I think you know what happened.
Yeah.
And
I'm scared.
yeah, that was very scary as well. It was like, oh, like come hang out, like we can go somewhere. Pulled up in a van. I was like, fuck off. I was like, what is this? Like I'm actually getting taken.
Did you actually go in the van?
Neeson?
You went in the van?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
And let's just say there was no seats in the back.
And I'm not Liam Neeson, so I won't be helping you, man. So.
Yeah. And you were home, and I was just like, do I ring him and tell him to come help me right now?
Follow my phone mapping. Just follow the car.
But all was well, and learned never do that again.
Don't jump into white vans with strangers.
Strange old man.
Strange old man, which is weird because
yeah, tell you the best part.
He messaged me like a month later.
Yeah.
And was like, we can't do that again. And I was like, that was never going to happen again. That was a mistake. And he goes, yeah, but like, I don't think we should talk because I work with your brother. And I was like, one, how the fuck do you know who I am? Two, how do you know who my brother is? It was horrid, absolute horrid.
And I still don't even know who it is to this day.
I know his first name, I can tell you when we're not recording.
Yeah.
But I don't know the last name.
He has a wife and kids too.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't know that at the time, first of all. Also, that's another big thing in the gay world.
Oh, yeah.
Married men. I don't know why the gays do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And
Is that like a bi thing though, or is that just like they just
Yeah.
never came out?
Or more a closet.
Yeah.
I think some of it is because like I know a couple. Like I know stories of friends and stuff. Like they've all got wife and kids, and then they're gay. Like they've come out. I think it's just like I think you'll find a lot of the older generation gays even now like aren't out.
Yeah.
Because they grew up around that whole horrid time.
Yeah.
Even now they're too scared to come out.
Yeah, they wouldn't be.
I actually know someone that had a wife and kids, and he came out, and they split up, and now he's like full.
What would you do?
What would I do in his situation?
If Keely came out and was like, I'm actually lesbian, and you had a kid.
Ooh, what can you do though?
Yeah, you can't stay together.
Yeah, it's just like no. Some people do. I actually know someone else that
people do.
That's happened.
Like
Don't want to break the family up.
Yeah, and they've had like a little bit of a break kind of thing.
Agreement.
Yeah, but then they like came back together and they're still together. So I don't know if it's like
Also, it's kind of like a bit of a phase, like experimenting.
yeah, I guess they're like, oh, I could
Yeah.
be, and then they try it and they're like, oh, maybe it's not actually for me. And then they come back.
Jeez.
Woo!
Yeah, Lincoln getting messages.
Yeah,
I know you're popular.
Yeah,
I am. Well, is that about wrap us up tonight, boys?
Yeah, I reckon I might.
That was fun. Definitely
Beautiful.
fun. I got into it at the end. I was a bit nervous at the start.
We tell everyone it's always like really daunting at the start. It's always like that little bit daunting, but as soon as you start talking, you kind of get into it, don't you?
Yeah, it comes natural as
I
fuck.
think because like the room stopped spinning, I got better at the end.
Yeah, sober it up, had like 10 glasses of water.
Yeah.
No, but thanks for joining us today, man. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for coming on, Chaos.
Thanks for
Fun.
sharing.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. And Teabaggers, thank you once again for joining us at the Teahouse for episode 35. I hope you had a ripper time, and we'll see you next week.